Now, today we will discuss about problems and remedies of capsule. Now, in the capsule, we have soft gelatin as well as hard gelatin, and these are its filling technique, dosage tube principle, tamping principle, and machinery is used for this. And these are the turret assembly for filling, which includes rectification, filling, and joining. Now, today we mainly focus on the capsule problems and the remedies. Now, here in the problems, we have to classify the problems based on the different work. First is during filling, the first problem is the capsule does not enter into the magazine or into the turret, right? So, this is the main problem. And what are the causes of the problem? Baffle plate does not set properly. The plate which holds the cap and body, it does not um, set properly, then also it will not enter the magazine. And remedies, and the plate required to open for the capsule to flow properly from the hopper into the reservoir. And for big capsule, the gate required to be open more than the small size capsule. Depending upon size, we have to open the baffle plate. Second is damaged magazine. It will also damage it because of the damaged marks on the magazine can be rectified by smoothing of the magazine. Sometimes it also damaged its magazine. Machine speed is slow. Third problem is this also leads to the entry problem of capsule into slots. It will not enter. Ideally, machine should be run at high speed. Generally, machine speed below 50 to 60 rpm should cause this problem, right? It should be high speed. And sometimes during filling, next problem is damaged capsule. Damaged capsule prevents the entry of other good capsule into these slots, so it push all away through the so that capsule come out from the entry hole of the magazine. And next is foreign particles in the magazine. So look for the foreign particles like plastic pieces, formation traces in the magazine. Clean the magazine with compressed air if required. So these are the problems related to capsule does not enter into the magazine. Second is again some yes. Next is capsule does not enter the rectifier block. Rectifier block. What is the principal work of rectifier block? It separates capsule with the body. So capsule stored overnight and without climatic control. So either it brittles or it softens and it does not rectify. So this may be due to improper room condition of capsule having been affected by the improper storage condition, and sometimes it sticks to the slots, so it does not separate out. Magazine not alignment with rectified block. So there should be proper alignment. So alignment with the rectified block have shifted or not set right. So alignment with the rectified block using proper gauge. So this is again one of the problem. Next is capsules getting damaged during loading. So alignment of rectifier block with the bushes. Verify visually if the remedies, we have to verify visually the rectifier block is in alignment with cap and body or not, right? So it should be proper alignment, then only it immediately goes into the slots. So this is the problem during rectification and during loading. Next is problem during loss of cap during transfer. It's because of the very high vacuum, sometimes related to the loss of cap. So try to reduce the vacuum by adjusting the throttle value, but sure that you do not reduce it so slow that capsule separation is not observed. And misalignment, again misalignment of cap and body. So remedies, we have to check the alignment visually by the adjustment of the gauge. Now next is problem related to Capsule non-separation, insufficient vacuum or incorrect vacuum pump. So it requires proper capacity of vacuum pump. Generally pressure related to pressure up to 24 inch of the mercury is generally used for separation. It's leakage through filter. If there is a leakage in the vacuum pump, then it change the vacuum pressure. So we have to replace it. It is a remedy. And again misalignment. So we have to check the all stations if problem in the misalignment. And worn out brushes means if non-separation occurs in the specified brushes, then cleanup does not help. Replace these brushes with new one, right? So because of wear and tear, they were torn away, so we have to replace it. Loss of spring tension at the top slides. So poor spring tension, top sides, or sluggish movement on the top slide properly caused by pin result in improper dosing, right? So dosing pins will not have proper control, so it will give you dose variation, so we have to replace it. Okay, so next is target weight not achieved. Weight variation is observed. So incorrect target weight within respect to selected capsule size, and this problem is checked for the variation in physical parameters of the powder, and this weight variation in the tablet is observed due to change in the density, moisture content, particular distribution, flow property of the formulation. Improper slug formation due to incorrect setting parameter, right? So during the dosing, if you are using dosing disc or dosing tamping pins, but the slug formation is improper because of the improper incorrect setting, then also there is weight variation. So here the remedies improper slug formation can be result of insufficient tamping of the powder, right? So we have to ensure that the tamping block 1 to 5 are placed along with the direction of rotating dosing dish. Second, if weight does not increase by tamping the block, then powder quantity in the dosing dish may be insufficient, right? So it leads to the, because of insufficient powder flow in the hull, they leads to the less fill weight. Again, improper selection of even dosing disc. Depending upon size of capsule, you have to select the dosing disc also. And the spring of the some tamping piston might ever been a crack or dose during operation. So such piston will not sustain the pressure, and it will not generate sufficient pressure on the powder to prepare a slug, so it gives you loss in the weight. Sometimes insufficient binding causes weight variation. So if improper slug is not formed, then part of the powder will be lost before delivery to the capsules. Again, poor flow property, so it will give you poor weight variation. So depending upon the nature of the formulation, its property, we have to improve the flow of the material and then go for filling into the hopper. Formulation is sticky sometimes, so loss, contrary to the loss of powder, when slug is not getting formed, then we have to apply more pressure, and powder could be sticky or hygroscopic. Then we have to reduce the stickiness by addition of some ingredient, or check the tamping pins and work properly for the tamping pins, and we otherwise improve the property of the material. So these are the problems related to the weight is not gain, incorrect selection of capsule size also. Okay, and lastly the weight variation, there is wrong selection of dosing disc thickness. So kindly select the proper dosing disc and the filling powder. Incorrect gap between dosing disc and supporting pad, tamping pins and body disc, tamping disc and vibe block, and tamping disc and body wishes, right? So standard is gap should not be more than 0.1 mm, to be maintained at 0.2 to 0.4 mm, and gap should not be more than 0.1 mm in wiper block and dosing disc. So these are the standard limit for gap between this. So if we have set a gap between this properly, then we have, there should not be any type of weight variation, right? So these are called as capsule problems and remedy. Again, you can add the storage condition of capsule, like it require proper storage condition. If it is too dry, then it leads to the brittleness of capsule. It is too humid, then it leads to stickiness. So we have to, what is the remedy? Then we have to set the temperature and pressure at proper condition, if for a difference in the hard gelatin and soft gelatin, right? So you can add this in the problems and remedies.